Hi and welcome to this tutorial on how to get your own model on an AR card, which is augmented reality, so you can have it on your desk or whatever it is you want to do. And this tutorial only covers static models. If you can get a Vrml file to play with animations, it will work. But currently I've yet to find a way of doing that with Blender, which is what I'll be using for this tutorial. The other method that I'll be using, it works with textures just fine, exports static measures just fine, just not animations just yet. I'll look into that though, and I'll post a better tutorial in the future. Okay, so programs you'll need are MeshLab and something to make models, where MeshLab reads pretty much everything except FBX. It doesn't read FBX, but it reads OBJ, it reads DAE, it reads XML, reads all sorts. So Sculptress will be fine, that's free. Blender, definitely fine, that's free. Google SketchUp, also fine, and that is also free. Now then, to basically get the demo working, so it's a demo that I've preloaded with this, you want to go into your, take this file from the link, download it, and then you want to open it, extract it somewhere. Once you open it, you will find a crap load of files. One you want is called bin, easy to remember. It's called binary. Inside are all sorts of weird random files. Now what you want to do is you want to go into, actually I think I'd best explain how this works first. Okay, so what we have here is simple Vrml, which is a testing program that came with the toolkit, and it's basically made to test Vrml files with this AR augmented reality script. And I use Vrml because that is what they had lying around back in 1997 when this was made. But most things export to that. Well, they don't. They export as OBJ, but MeshLab exports as that, which is okay. So inside my URL, there will be lots of different things. These are free models that will come with a toolkit. This and this are just random. That came with it. They're a test. That is a test. This is something I've made myself. It's for my college work, so you know, don't pass it on or anything. Now, what you need to do is, because when I made this zip, there was two other things that I made in it, and I deleted the wrong one. But it's a good opportunity to show you how to set this up yourself. So you need to go into your data, you need to go into object data Vrml. Now this is how it works. This program takes information from your camera, and the information is then sort of asks this object data, what do you want me to do with it? So don't double click it. You can edit this with Notepad, so just click edit, or I'm using Notepad++. It's exactly the same as Notepad, but as you can see it's better. Now here it says this here is what pattern you're going to use. Now I'm using a pattern called sample 2. There are different patterns that you can use, and sample 2 is simply, I've printed it out, cut it out, and you can find it in AR Toolkit, the root folder of AR Toolkit, patterns. They're all PDFs. and sample 2 is this one right now. There's different ones you can choose. There's also blank for if you want to make your own. I've not figured out how to do that. It's not as simple as I thought it was. But basically this is one we're going to use, the one you need to print out for the simple demo. If you're making your own, you can choose that. You can choose a different one, and I'll show you how to do that. So once you've printed that out, which I have, and you've cut it out and you've laid it on a flat table, you need to close this, and you need to edit your object data Vrml. And now you know which pattern it is. You need to set the model to use. Now 4 doesn't exist, so if you look, where was it? In models folder, WRL, there's only 3, so we need to fix this. Change that to 3, save, and minimize that, and now it will work, and if it doesn't, I will look like an idiot. So scroll down to the bottom and click Simple Vrml. I'm just going to set it to the highest resolution possible. Okay, and as you can see, my bed, which is a tip, and I'm going to find sample 2. See, sample 2, and if I hold sample 2 flat, if it recognizes it, it should. I think. See? There it is. There we go. This works so much better in sunlight. And it works better if you have a better camera as well. And remember, this AR card has to be completely flat for this to work. Can't be bent or distorted at all. But that is the basic model. See? So it sort of works. Would work better if you could see the AR card better. It's 3 AM. What you gonna do? Okay. Now, as unimpressive as that was, I need to close this now. That's my test. It didn't work. Okay. Now, I'm going to show you something really cool. I'm going to show you how to make your own. So first off, open up your modelling program. I'm just going to use Blender. It's 2.62, isn't it? I want the latest one, damn you. Yay! It's all pretty fall and grey. There we go, 2.63. Now let's make a really simple model. I'm also going to make a texture for it, just to show you. In fact, why don't we make use of that failed texture? Where is it? I'm going to use, I could use GIMP, but nobody has GIMP. I'll use Paint. Now this is just a generic texture, it's not a modelling tutorial, so, you know, do whatever you want for this bit. I'm just going to make I'm going to fill this in black. Fill, solid colour. What? Oh, there we go. And I'm going to make a white face. So it kind of looks like the AR card. And then I'm going to make a smiley face. Smiley face. Like that one. Those retard rabbit faces. There we go. You need to be bigger. There we go. So retarded. So gloriously fucking retarded. It fills me with love just looking at it. Save as anything you want. I'm going to say as JPEG. Don't want this shit taking up too much space on my thing. And I'm going to save it in desktop. In here, AR Toolkit. I'm going to save it in binary, WRL, textures, in here. And I'm just going to call it face.txt. Oh, JPEG. Sorry, it is 2 AM. Now, you can eat shit and die, and let's open you up in Blender. So we have our stupid cube. Just going to open the UV editor. Open an image. This is really quick. And where are you? Desktop. AR Toolkit. Binary. WRL. Textures. I'll show you why I used this in a second. Why I used that directory. So just go in here, put this in texture mode so we can see what we're doing. You unwrap them all. And actually, I'm not going to do this. I only want the face on one side. Not onto or all of them, as the case seems to be. You also unwrap. I want you scale X, scale Z. So I could just done it in both, couldn't I? Scale Y even. And I just want you to be black. Where's forwards? Ah, this is forwards. There we go. There, perfect. Okay, now I'm going to add some more lights because, funny enough, oh, it's upside down. Scale Z -1 there. Real simple. Okay. Shift D. Shift D. Control Z. What am I doing? There. G in the Y. Shift D. You want this to be well lit. Shift D. In the Y. Not too well lit actually. That'll do. Considering it's black and you can only see the front anyway. Pull one behind just in case. Okay. So now that's done. You want to delete the camera? Or do you? Yes, you do. File, save as. Actually, not going to bother saving it. I'm going to export it. I'm going to export it as an OBJ. This doesn't handle animation, so be careful. Now, what am I saying? Be careful. You don't have animation in the first place. That's not what this tutorial's about. I'll just export this swipe to my desktop. It doesn't matter where you export it or what you call it, as long as you know what it is. So, export. Then we go into Mesh Lab. I'll put a link in the description if you don't know how to use Google. So, wait for Mesh Lab to open, and you want to import your OBJ from wherever saved it, and I'll switch the textures on. It doesn't seem to have textures. Transition. The lack of textures made me panic, but then I realised it didn't matter. Export mesh as your toolkit. I'm going to call this a dot WRL. So it's in bin WRL. And we're just going to call it Happy Cube Save or whatever. You want to untick color and you want to take texture coordinates, so text coord. Click OK. Screw it. Now we are going to go back into our WRL folder. I'll use this window for that. Binary WRL, and this is how we fix the texture. Right click that, edit with Notepad++, and down at the bottom you will have the URL of the texture. Now I just happen to know that the texture URL, this is just like the URL that you would use for a web page, happens to be textures face.jpg. So you can either copy the full thing, or you can copy this bit, and then at the end you just put face.jpg. In fact, you can probably just have that because this is in the WRL folder. And you could probably save yourself a lot of hassle by deleting this here slash at the start. I don't in this video, because I'm stupid. Face.jpg. Perfect. Save. We will see if this works later. But first, we will need to create an entry in the data folder. We need to create a data thing for this. So go into WRL, and then you want to copy one of these. And I'm going to copy this. Copy, paste. We want to rename this to be exactly the same as your model name. So happy cube dot. Perfect. And then once you've got that, you want to right click edit and just change this to your cube name, so well, whatever your model is. I'm not entirely sure if it matters if it's uppercase or lowercase, but you know, just to be safe. This is your scale, so this is how big it's going to be, obviously, by its X, Y, Z. So be sure to make sure they're all the same, unless you want it to be unnaturally tall and thin. this is rotation, also X, Y, Z. If it's rotated a little bit strange, you want to change one of these and just change them around, see which one it is, play around with it. There's a last one, I'm not entirely sure about the final one is. We'll find out. This is translation. This is how high. Well, this is X, Y, Z. This is where it's going to be positioned. Now, your point of origin, the center of your scene that you exported from Blender or whatever it was, will be the center of the picture, the AR card. So this will be 300 above the center of the AR card, which is right because this is pretty much where the bottom of it touches the floor. At least it was in the other model. In this model it might be a little less, but you know, this is the bit that you change to change the height. This is the bit that you change to change in the Y direction, so that's forwards, backwards. This is left, right. Left being a negative number, obviously. Now, you want to open up your object data Vrml. If you've forgotten where that is, it is in bin data, object data, Vrml. So I've already got this open. Let me change this to 2. You're going to make copy pasta bolognese. And you want to change this to your dat file. So I'm just going to change that to cube.dat, and you want to change this to the sample pattern you're going to use. Now, I'm just looking around at all the ones that I've got printed out, and probably the best one to use would be sample 1. So, sample 1. If you've forgotten where your patterns are, they are in AR Toolkit, patterns. You can choose any one of these. Just make sure you get the name right. So I've done that. Save all. Because you want to save this as well. So you go your .dat, your .wrl, your .vml, and they're all in the right place. Make sure they are. So once you've done that, and once you've printed out your pattern, you have to go to bin, scroll to bottom, and moment of truth time. If it doesn't load when you open it, so if it sort of crashes, there's a reason for that, and I'll show you the reason. So if it does this, see what I did there? It's already open. You might not notice. Okay, so moment of truth. I'll show you. This was my first one, if you remember. So that wants to cooperate. There we go. That's a basic one that we know works. Here's the one that we made from scratch. Oh, hello. Hello, what's this? It's working. There's a cube. There is a cube. But I don't think the cube has the textures. Doesn't appear to have the texture that I assigned to it. So, just to make sure that it's definitely getting the texture, I am going to do a failsafe. The failsafe is, I go in here, I go into textures, I take this, Control X, I paste it into here. See, I've already done that with the other model. And then I go back and open my model file, the WRL for the model that I've made, and I completely get rid of this bit. So it's just literally just the name of a texture. Now I want to make sure that I've got the name of the texture right. Face.jpg, face.jpg, there we go. So save that, go back and open up this. Okay, working. And see it? Yes. Ladies and gentlemen, that is how you make models. Now remember what I said before about changing the position and the size. Here it's clearly too far above the QR code. We're going to aim to try and get it to exactly cover that white bit. So, when we do that, it's guesswork, pretty much. There's no easy way to put it, it is guesswork. So I go back into my happycube.data. Remember, it takes this as the pure shape, this, the .dat, is how it's supposed to, interpret that shape. So first of all, I'm going to change the scale up to, let's try 100, 100, 100. Remember, do this with all of them. And then I'm going to change this to 50, because half of 100 is 50. I'm assuming the center of the object was 50. So I'm going to save that out, and I'm going to go back and try it again. Yeah, come on. Give us a HD experience. Oh, hello. It works quite nicely. Oh yeah, and look. Now them both together can be friends. But I think it's a little low. Does that look low to you? It does. That looks low to me. So I'm just going to change the just going to change the Z value to 100. Save. Go back. Test this out. Okay. And perfect. Absolutely perfect. There you go. There's your happy cube. Bear in mind this works a lot better in daylight on a flat surface with an AR card that is less than a day old. Because what happens is they get a bit distorted. Like here I've got a box of chocolates. And go ahead and rotate that. Make sure you don't cover up like that. You cover up with like that. Well, if you distort it won't recognise. Smaller AR cards are best because they're less likely to be covered up or distorted. Like this one. So there you have it. And that concludes that. Thanks for watching.